Hello, I'm Ian from Touratech USA, and in front of me are the progressive spring kits that we make for the BMW 310GS. So we have two lowering kits and one standard height progressive spring kit, and I'm going to break these all down one at a time to give you a better idea of what they are, how they work, and what they can do for you. So here on this side we have the standard height progressive spring kit. Here in the middle we have a 35mm lowering kit. And here we have a 55mm lowering kit. So let's jump into the standard height kit, show you what it's made of, tell you about it. This is the standard height progressive spring kit that Touratech offers for the 310GS. You can see that this is a progressively wound spring. It's got a tighter wind at the top and a looser wind at the bottom. So what that does is as the forks compress, the spring presses back a little bit harder the deeper you get into the stroke. That helps keep you from bottoming out and also makes the ride a little bit more supple when you're just unloaded moving along flat ground. The shock spring is also a progressive wind, and the kit includes fork oil as well as some specifications on how to set everything up when you've got it installed. This is a great kit so long as you're comfortable with the reach to the ground on your 310GS and you want to just increase your riding comfort while also increasing your load carrying capacity at the same time. This is the 35mm lowering kit that Touratech sells for the BMW 310GS, and you can see that this is a progressive fork spring, but the soft wind section here at the top is much longer than you'd get on a standard progressive fork spring. Reason being is that when the weight of the motorcycle is applied, this upper section here, the soft section, will bottom out on its own just from the weight of the motorcycle, and that lowers the bike down about 35mm and gets your feet closer to the ground. After that, you've got a progressive wind that's a little bit stiffer than stock, so as you get deeper into the stroke, this helps keep the bike from bottoming out going over rough terrain. This is a relatively unconventional way of lowering the rear end of the motorcycle, but it's a great option. Just something that is a little bit harder to install if you don't have a special clamp to hold on to the shock shaft. But what this is a replacement lower eye for the stock shock absorber. So you unscrew the bottom of your stock shock absorber and you screw this one on. It's a little bit shorter, lowers your bike 35mm. The kit also includes fork oil and a chart about the settings to get it riding just right when you're setting it up. This is the 55mm lowering kit that Touratech offers for the BMW 310GS. The fork spring here is a progressive wind, as you can see, but the upper section is quite a bit longer than you'd get on a standard progressive fork spring. This is the softer section that, under the weight of the motorcycle, bottoms out on its own, and that's how we achieve the 55mm lowering on the fork. Once that section is collapsed, you're running this slightly stiffer wind than stock. That's to help avoid the bike bottoming out, especially now since it's so much lower to the ground. On the rear end, to achieve 55mm of lowering, there's a complete replacement shock absorber. So this shock absorber has a spring on it that's a little bit stiffer than stock. It has a shorter stroke than the stock shock. That said, it's a much higher quality shock absorber, so the ride control is way better than you get with your stock setup. There's one adjuster here at the bottom, and this is how you adjust the damping. So clockwise makes it a little bit tighter, makes the shock move more slowly. Counterclockwise makes it move a little bit more quickly. Also included in the kit is a bottle of fork oil and a chart to help you get the bike set up just right when you're putting it all together. If you'd like to learn more about the suspension products that Touratech sells for the 310GS, along with our entire product line for adventure motorcycles, please visit our website, touratech-usa.com. And if you like videos like this and you'd like to see more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.